Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Civil. I'm back with some new video content for you guys. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe and turn on your notifications so you can get notified every time we release some new video content. But today we're going to be discussing how to create a dope album. Stay tuned. So today we're going to be discussing how to create a dope album. I'm going to give you 10 steps to help guide you through the process as you are creating your own album. So the first step to creating a dope album is establishing a concept and a theme. This helps guide you through the process as you're creating your album and help you determine what songs are going to be on the project. It's going to help you determine what beats you're going to use, who are you going to be talking to. Each song has to be on theme. So when you establish a theme, it'll help you guide your way through the process as you're recording your songs. It'll keep you from wasting time in the studio, wasting time going back and forth, changing things around. But if you have a goal in mind, it'll make it a lot easier for you to hit that goal if you have an established goal, an established concept and theme in the first place. So after you've chosen a theme for your project, the next step into creating a dope album is determining what beats you're going to use, picking the right beats. It's important that you pick beats that complement your style and complement the theme and concept for the project, because then it allows for helps people understand what's going on. If you're trying to make people feel a certain type of way, it's important that those beats that you choose complement that. It's always safe to pick something that complements your style and complements the theme that you're going for. So after you've chosen the beats that you want, or the couple of beats that you want to use for the project, it's time to write the songs. Now, I would suggest buying the beats before you start writing a song, because you'll find sometimes that the bars that you wrote doesn't fit the beat that you might be interested in using, and it could cause you to have to go back and either change the beat or change the bars or adjust them, change the flow, slow down the flow or speed it up, and sometimes that doesn't fit the original idea that you had prior. So it's good to buy the beats prior and then start writing your songs. So that's an important thing to remember. So after you've gotten your beats, you've written to the songs, then it's time to record the songs for your project, or the song, starting with one and then working your way down. I've actually found that it's a lot better to start with just one song at a time and making sure each song sounds right. That way you don't find yourself going back and revising songs. It's just good to go with one song at a time, so each song can be the best that it can be while you're providing the most amount of attention that song needs, one at a time. This is important. Memorizing, writing, having the beats, important to have a basis before doing anything. If you don't have a plan going into something, you'll find yourself wasting a lot of time or a lot of money, or both. So after you've gotten your beats, written your songs, memorized the lyrics, recorded the songs, now it's time to get your project mixed and mastered. I would suggest going to a professional engineer who knows what they're doing so that they can mix and master your project. So if you don't have your project mixed and mastered correctly, somebody might click on your song and hear the quality of it and instantly turn it off and never listen to it again. So spend the money, or if you know how to do it, just do it. But it's important that you invest into yourself and invest into the content that you're creating. The next step is probably one of the hardest steps in this process of creating a dope album, and that's deciding on a track list, deciding what songs are gonna stay, what songs are gonna go. And this is very tough because you might have 15 to 20 really solid songs, but at the end of the day, an album really only needs about 12 songs. A solid album, 12 to 15 songs. Choosing a track list is important because the track list determines the feel of the project. So when you're picking your track list, you don't want to have 8 or 9 hype songs and then close out the album with 3 chill songs. That would be kind of like, people will be worn out after the first 3 or 4. So what I would suggest when you're picking your track list, listen to each song carefully, determine the feel of each song. And I did this for my own album. I took a piece of paper, I wrote down all of the songs that I wanted to be on the project. I chose the 12 best songs. I wrote them all down, and I wrote all that down. I categorized them all, and I set up my project doing 3 hype songs, or two hype songs and a chill song, or 3 hype songs and a chill song. so that there's a cool down process, so that people aren't getting worn out listening to the project. In the process of choosing which songs you want to put on the album, determining what you want to perform, determining what you want people to feel, all this stuff is things you have to think about in the process. So after you've gone through the grueling process of picking a track list, choosing the songs that you want on the project, the next step into creating a dope album is determining what distribution company you want to use. Now there are a few companies out there like DistroKid and CD Baby, and there's many others out there as well. Something to consider, and I'll say this, what are you going to make off of your content that you create? Are you going to make most of the proceeds off of it, or are people taking advantage of you? Are you going to make royalties? Are you still going to own the content that you have when you release it? This is something important to think about. Another option, if you don't want to go through a distribution company, is to promote it yourself. Go create a website, have somebody create a website for you, or you can go through Patreon or something like that, and you can get 100% of the proceeds back. Go on, make your Wix website, Wix.com website. It's free. Get you a domain, connect it to the website. Obviously, there's a hosting fee with Wix, but $10 a month, right? Or something like that. $10 a month, $100 a year, but you get 100% of the proceeds. Connect your content to your PayPal or something. But that's a way that you can make money off your content. But that's the one thing you should think about if you're young, or period. If you're really thinking about releasing your content, think about, what are you going to make off this? If you spent, this is your intellectual property. This is what belongs to you. Determine and really think about how you can make money off of what you created and you spent the money to create, or the time to create. And it's something to really think about. But the 8th step is hiring a graphic designer to create some dope artwork for you. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen trash cover arts on datpiff.com and YouTube and Noise Trade and all these different places, and Apple, and I'm like, bro, hire a designer to create your content. If you're not a designer, you know how to make art, cover art, hire a designer, bro. You can get a graphic designer, pay them $150 to $100, 75. A lower tier would be like $75. A decent, good graphic designer, 100 to 150, maybe more than that. But you have to spend money to get your cover art right, man. Whatever you got to do, don't get no clip art and just throw a font on there with 4 different fonts. Like, just hire somebody. I can't tell you how many times I've clicked on an artist's song simply because they had dope cover art. I want to see what this sounds like because that cover art is dope. That's something that's really important. So do it right, because this is key. If you don't do it, somebody may never hear that awesome music you spent money to create, or time you spent to create, if the cover art's trash. It just is what it is. That's all I gotta say. So for the 9th step, this one's relatively simple. We're just gonna go back and review everything that we've gone over thus far. The reason why you want to do this is because you want to make sure that you've covered every single step. You've already taken care of everything. The music has been taken care of. Everything sounds good. The mix and mastering sounds good to where you desire for it to be. The cover art design looks good. All the promotional graphics and so on and so forth. Everything's covered. Everything looks good, so that you can transition into the promotional aspect. This is important because you might listen back to a song and find out you might have missed a word in the song. Maybe you missed a line. Maybe you duplicated a line. I've actually had that happen to me before, where just before I was going to go about releasing a song, I listened to it and found out that I repeated myself. I repeated a bar, and so I was like, I'm so glad that I went back and looked at everything, because that could have ended up being disastrous. You go about promoting this song and releasing it, and come to find out you've repeated a line, or something doesn't sound right. Maybe something on the promotion was misspelled. So these are things that are important, that you go back, you review all of the steps that we've gone over thus far to make sure that everything is ready to be promoted and released to the world. So these are key points. So we have reached the last step of the process of creating a dope album. Last thing you need to do is promote it. Now, there's many ways you can go about promoting. You got money to spend, go hire a marketing company. Allow them to, put that content in front of the right people, in front of the most amount of people that it can be put in front of. Spend the money to get the content created so it looks nice. Presentation is everything. Something that my mom always told me when I was younger is, people always see you before they talk to you. And so your album is how you speak to people. If your album cover is ugly, nobody's gonna listen to you. Nobody's gonna talk to you. Unfortunately, we live in an artificial world like that. And so what you present to people is important. If you got, some good content to put out there that is gonna, definitely impact people's lives, spend the money so that, it can be put in front of the right people, and spend the money so that it looks correct when people see it. And they might be a complete stranger and they might, just click on it just because it looks good. That's the conclusion of the video. That's 10 ways on how to create an album from start to finish, from picking beats all the way down to distribution. Hope this was helpful to you guys. If you aren't a subscriber, once again, go ahead and subscribe, turn on your notifications. I'm going to be releasing weekly content. Until next time, share this video. I'm trying to reach as many people as I can, so when you guys share, you help me attain my goal. Pray you guys have a blessed day. My name is Civil. You can follow me on Instagram at Civil Music Connect. Stay tuned. I got some big things coming. Stay tuned, guys. I spent most of my life trying to fit in, seeing where I fit in. Took the things other people like and made them fit in. Socially awkward, oftentimes you find me in silence. Only speak what I'm spoken to by the Father.